Cirque DeStrano was a piece that a man called Nathan Myers, outside of the university, or outside of our course at least, chose to put on, and which was performed in the TCU's festival. It was based around a circus, a strange circus. The name Cirque DeStrano means Circus of the Strange, or Strange Circus. And a group of us took part in that, and we met up, and it was a very group-devised piece. Nathan said from the start he wanted it to be all our show, and we all came up with parts, and came up with various characters and so on. I played 2 parts in the show. I played the Mad Hatter, which was an idea from the start, and then as a later idea that came into it, a magician, and then most of it through just messing around, improvising, coming up with ideas and stuff, and we came up with this magician called the Great Greg, who is a very bad magician, but he thinks he's a great magician, and there's not too much to say really about the devising process, because a lot of it was just improvisation, doing what we found funny. If we did something and it made the rest of the actors laugh, then it stayed in. A lot of stuff didn't make us laugh, and then that was scrapped. And so a lot of the jokes would stay in. The Great Greg, for instance, had this thing where he would say a joke that wasn't even funny, and then go, "It's a joke, laugh," and make them laugh. And then when I did that in the final show, I even took it further. If rather than riding the laugh, if it wasn't work, I would tell them to stop laughing. It's not funny. So I would tell jokes that even I didn't find funny, and then tell them off for laughing at it. He was a very ridiculous character. And then we played around with a lot of ideas for Great Greg, because we were talking about different magic tricks and so on. The cutting a lady in half, which we didn't do. We switched that to a stabbing. Had a woman who was the Great Greg's ex-wife. She was in the box, and he stabbed her. And then even that went wrong, because it was revealed she wasn't dead, and she stood up and she walked out taking the box. It was all comedy jokes, and for instance, he wanted to do a vanishing trick, and had his assistant go to get it, and then comes back without it, and he goes, "How did you How do you lose a vanishing cabinet?" "Oh, of course, it vanished." The character Jest, who was Nathan's character and was a recurring character throughout most of the scene, acted as his assistant, and worked as a silent comedy partner. And it was also incredibly rude, adding things like the cup and ball trick, which is a classic magician trick, was actually Greg cupping Jest, and things like that. And the pulling a rabbit from a hat, we switched and made it pulling a hat from a rabbit, and had a toy, a rabbit teddy that we did consider altering to make the trick possible, but decided it was possibly unethical. The comedy of the character allowed me to ad-lib a lot in the final performance. Lots of jokes were made on the spot, and even a point I said the wrong line, and then could even bluff that away, saying, "Stop laughing, I said my line wrong, but it's not. This is serious magic. It's not joke. Shut up." Because they knew it was silly, and it was able to get away with that. The Mad Hatter scenes. Well, the Mad Hatter was in 2 scenes. Well, 2 or 3 depending on how you count. The first scene and the last scene, where everyone is gathered together. which was blocked from the start, so there's not much to say about that, but essentially lined up with the rest of the characters and had the walk that I worked on, and indicative to his character, and a lot of it was him spinning round, can't walk in a straight line, maniacal grin on his face, and so on. And then the other scene that we put in was that he has a Mad Hatter's Tea Party, which is famous from the book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I, as the Hatter, set up this party, and this tea party, and have the ringleader, who's played by Haley Thompson, come attend. And this was trying to bring all the characters back into it. Lucy comes in as a sort of sexy dancer, but the Hatter's not interested in her. And then Paddy, who's been the drag queen, Mrs. Hyde, comes in and blindfolds the Hatter with a comedic bit at the end where he takes the blindfold off and goes to give him a kiss, and then the Hatter screams. Very funny. The costumes were simple. That was a simple Mad Hatter costume, except for the hat, which was actually made by Nathan, which was really, really impressive. The Great Greg costume was a Harry Potter cloak and a black shirt, and a white bow tie with little pictures on it. So it was almost like a Las Vegas magician, and it was a very, very funny, bizarre show.